So welcome to Gentle Yoga and Meditation. Tonight we are going to get back to yoga basics. We're going to be fundamentally focusing on the spine and the movements around the spine. And then our meditation will be a 32-point guided meditation of the physical body. Wait for Linda and Rachel to pop in. Hey, Linda, welcome. Happy Friday, everyone. Hey, Rachel, welcome, guys. So I was just saying, tonight's focus will be on our yoga fundamentals. Tonight we'll be doing, focusing on our spine. The spine moves in 6 directions. It's important for you to move your spine 6 ways every day. And you might do that every morning when you get up. You might do that during your lunch break. You might do it before you go to bed. It's a pretty quick and easy way to kind of help your spine health. So the 6 ways that the spine moves is right when we take our C curve, okay, side to side. Okay, the spine also twists, 3 and 4, and then the back bend. And then the rounding of the spine is 5 and 6. So we'll be coming into those 6 shapes in all different ways today on our mat. And then we'll move into our 32-point guided meditation. So before we get started, if anyone has any other part of the body that they would like me to spend some time on tonight, there's plenty of time and space for that. You can type it in the chat or you can unmute and shout it out. Also, if anyone has any injuries that they're working with tonight, please let me know so that I can cue for your safety and your comfort. What you will need tonight is your mat. You don't need 2 blocks, but if you have 2 blocks and you'd like to bring them in, feeling free. We'll be doing a little forward folding. So if you like a strap for that, please grab your strap. And of course, always with me, you need a let's see. Shoulder injury, yes, I'll be careful to cue around the shoulders. As far as thyroid, we'll work on the neck and throat as we warm up tonight. I know for thyroid, a nice pose for that is plow pose, but I consider that to be an advanced pose that I don't like to teach via Zoom. Plow is something that I would like to do necessarily face-to-face because it does involve the back of the neck and a lot of those nerve endings back there. So plow is a pose I'd like to be extra careful with, but we will do some neck movements that can be stimulating for thyroid. All right, so yes, blanket or folded towel. We'll come onto our mats and we'll begin with our grounding. So if we're grounding on the back with a focus on the spine tonight, let's begin with knees bent. We'll find the feet on the earth. We'll press into the feet almost like we're coming to a bridge, but we're just gonna lift the tailbone off of the earth and the low back just slightly. Then we're gonna scoop the tailbone like it's reaching for the knees. And then we bring the low back and the tailbone back onto the earth. And we're gonna notice that we've taken some of the curve out of the low back and we're bringing the low back onto the earth, right, in a more neutral curvature. So option to bring feet mat distance apart, knees together, okay? And if low back is feeling well, option to bringing the legs out, feet mat distance apart, you'll let the feet flop to the side. If being on your back isn't working for you, you might lie on the side with a pillow between the knees, or you might ground seated with the back up against the wall. We'll close the eyes if they haven't closed already. Noticing if the eyes are at all resistant. And if they are, your nervous system may just not be ready to turn off that information. That's okay, we're not going to force it. We'll just ask the eyelids to feel heavy. Maybe we choose to soften the focus and maybe the eyes close when they're ready. So focusing on our yoga basics tonight, we'll focus here on the breath. One of our most basic basics. Always with us, incredibly useful as a tool. So we begin to notice here what you notice about your breath. What is your natural breath doing here? Is it bumpy or smooth? Can you feel a coolness on the inhale, a warming on the exhale? Can you find the different parts of the breath, the inhale and its pause, the exhale and its pause? Is the inhale longer than the exhale? Maybe the other way around. Maybe the breath is even. Can you just take some time to be with your breath without judging it or directing it, without the mind wandering elsewhere? And if we've noticed that the mind's wandering, that's okay. We simply bring the mind back to the breath. Thank you very much, brain, not right now. It's time to simply be with breath. Can you find the rests between the inhales and the exhale? And can you sit in those rests peacefully, quietly, without rushing the next breath, without directing the next inhale or exhale? It's described as the breath breathing you instead of you breathing the breath. Can you simply be with your breath and allow it to breathe you? Anytime you need a moment for self, your breath is always with you. You can check in on your breath at any time. Simply noticing the different qualities you might notice without judgment, without direction. Just being present with the breath. I invite you to check in on your physical body, noticing again just what you notice without judgments, resisting stories. They may come in and that's okay. But as best we can, just checking in on the physical body, what feels well and at ease, what feels warm, maybe noticing air on the skin or the contact of the clothing, where the earth is meeting the physical body. And acknowledging the places that feel unwell, tense or tight. Offering them compassion, maybe offering them some breath. You might inhale and imagine that breath washing over the places that need our attention. It might come in, that breath, as a light in a color that you choose. Maybe you use your imagination and it's a cool breeze or a warm wave or something else. Allowing the breath to wash over the places that need attention. On the exhale, what can be released from those places? The stress, the strain, excess sensation. What would it feel like to allow anything that's not serving you to leave with the out-breath? Maybe it feels heavy and you'd like to let it go with a sigh. As you're ready, I invite you to shift focus to intention. Setting an intention for your practice tonight. An intention is a goal that you're working toward. It's a wish or a prayer for yourself or for someone else. We repeat intention 3 times to the self. Intention is another tool that we bring up with us that's always present. It's always accessible. You might revisit your intention throughout your practice. It's available off the mat as well. Let's find a cleansing breath here. Big breath in through the nose, fill the belly, then sigh it out of the mouth. It's okay to make noise. You're all on mute. Go for it. 2 more with your own breath in your own time. Unless the cleansing breath is producing any kind of discomfort or anxiety, then back to your natural breath. And then we'll begin to reawaken the body by making some small, gentle movements here. So maybe fingers and toes wiggle. Maybe you prefer a stretch or a sway, nodding the head. Move as your body is asking with care. If you're on your back, please bend into the knees if they're not bent already. We'll turn onto the right side. We'll use that right arm as a pillow. On an inhale, we straighten the top leg. Exhale, press up into any comfortable seat. And once you feel steady in your seat, we'll blink the eyes open so you come back into the space. All right, let's come into Sukhasana, easy seat. So it's useful for most bodies to bring a blanket or maybe a block under the sit bones. I'm going to move the flesh away from my sit bones so I feel really rooted. And I may even kind of give a little wiggle, right, to help kind of find my center. Let that motion stop itself. I'm going to cross at the shins, flexing the feet. Knees head south, and that happens by softening into the hips. If the hips are really holding, we might bring rolled towels or blankets or blocks under the knees. And with the legs being able to rest, it helps the hips to soften. The low belly draws in and up, shoulders rest, elbows under shoulders. You're going to tuck the head back slightly so that the head is hovering over the heart space. All right, here we go. Full breath in, reach the arms overhead, palms touch, lift the gaze. We're tipping the chin back, opening the front of the circle. We're not letting the head flop all the way back here. Exhale, hands come to heart center. We'll lower the gaze to the fingertips, soften the elbows, soften the shoulders. And as we tuck the chin, we're opening the back of the neck. Inhale, stretch the arms like we're scraping the fingertips against the side walls, palms touch, lift the gaze. Exhale, hands to heart center, lower the gaze. And one more time, full breath in. Bring in all that fresh air, that fresh energy. Exhale, hands to heart center, belly comes in on the exhale as we squeeze out the stale air. We're gonna look down at the lap, palms up in a receiving gesture if we need to receive some energy tonight. Palms down if we need some grounding, if we need to kind of gesture that we're pressing that energy out and away from our space. Let's take a couple deep breaths into the back of the neck with the chin tucked. So we're bringing sensation here into the neck, but no pain. And if we feel pain at any point in our practice, we know we've gone too far. We bring that place, that part back toward neutral until that pain completely goes away. On an inhale, now we're going to take the chin and we're going to bring it over to the right shoulder. Feel the sensation move. Again, no pain. Couple breaths here. And then exhale, chin to chest. And then when the inhale comes, chin comes to left shoulder, opposite shoulder. Feel the sensation move. Some people, sensation in the neck is very big here. Some people, it's really mild. Some of us, it's in between. Exhale, chin to chest. And then we'll take these half circles. Inhale, lifts the chin. Pause when the breath pauses. Exhale, breath brings the chin back to chest. And then inhale, chin to opposite shoulder. And we'll just keep moving now with your own breath. Maybe you're moving a little faster than me, maybe a little slower. Check in on the jaw. Let it be soft. The jaw's not moving the neck is moving the neck. The shoulders are at rest. Sometimes they want to help. We have a little firmness in the low belly here, helps to brace the low back. And then we'll make this the last round. So we started on the right, we end to the left, then chin comes to chest. And then on the inhale, we'll return the chin to neutral. Give everybody a moment to catch up. On an inhale, crown of the head is going to reach for the sky. Imagine that spine growing taller, making space between each of the vertebrae. And then on the exhale, we're going to tip the chin, or rather tip the ear toward the left shoulder, opening the right side of the neck. So opening right the very tippy top of the spine on the left side, little compression on the right side. Send breath where it's needed. We're feeling sensation here, but no pain, right? There shouldn't be a sharp or sudden jolt, right? Then that's too far. Inhale back to neutral. And then exhale opposite side. So tipping the left ear toward the left shoulder. Keep the shoulder at rest. Two sides may look very different. That's okay. Remembering to breathe. And then inhale back to neutral. And then we'll start moving with the breath. So we'll exhale, ear tips to the right shoulder. Pause with the breath. When the inhale comes back to neutral, exhale other side. And then inhale back to neutral. So just taking these gentle side to side movements. You might have the sense that you'd like to tip the spine a little bit in one direction and then the other, moving with the neck. That's okay. Just making sure we're keeping the shoulder, right, the ear that the shoulder is reaching toward at rest. And we'll take one more round, tipping to the right, neutral, tipping to the left, and neutral. And then we're back where we began. We'll switch the crossing of the legs. Knees head south, low belly in and up, shoulders rest. On an inhale, we'll reach the arms overhead, get nice and tall. Then on the exhale, finding shape number one, we're gonna bring right hand to the earth by right hip, left arm reaches overhead, finding our C curve. So we're like a crescent moon or a banana. Picturing the spine taking that C shape. Option to stay here. Option to find more of a C by walking the right fingertips out, bending into the elbow, right? Remembering we signed up for gentle tonight, the body's asking for gentle. So moving in the way and finding the version of this shape that feels gentle in your body. So always option to walk it back. Option to stay here or find a heart opener by inhaling, rolling that right shoulder open, lifting the gaze, pressing the heart for the sky. Right? If we feel pain in neck or shoulder, then we bring the neck and that shoulder back toward neutral. Wherever we are, again, how's that breath? That breath that's always with us, right? I say it's always with us, but sometimes we forget to breathe, right? We're so focused on maybe the shape or the sensation. And if you've opened the shoulder, exhale, we'll close it off, turn the gaze forward. Inhale, we get tall. Exhale, opposite side, left hand comes to the earth by the left hip, then the right arm reaches overhead, big stretch, stretching the right side body, compressing left side. Option to stay here, option to walk left fingertips out. Maybe we bend the elbow, we find more of a C, right? If that right hip pops up, we know we've gone too far, right? Because think about it, we're taking the C out of the shape, right? If that hip comes up. So keeping in that shape number two. And An option to find the heart opener by rolling the shoulder open, lifting the gaze, pressing the heart for the sky. And if we've taken the heart opener, exhale, and turn the heart back forward. Inhale, let's get tall, and then exhale, let's find shape number 3, our first twist. So as we exhale, we draw the belly in, left hand comes above right knee, right hand plants behind the spine. We're gonna look over the back shoulder. So the spine is still really long and tall, the crown of the head is still reaching for the sky, and the twist we're asking to come from the area of the low rib. So that's where shape number 3 is coming from. We're going to look over the back shoulder if that's okay on the neck. Otherwise, the neck finds a more neutral spot to hang out. And then we do our check-ins, right? How's my breath? How's my body? Right? What's holding me in this shape that maybe doesn't have to? What can I soften? Right? What's working here that does need some breath, that does need some attention? Inhale, let's reach the arms overhead. Gaze will follow to the thumbs. We'll get nice and tall. And then exhale, let's find shape number 4. We're twisting on the opposite side. So right hand above left knee. Left hand plants behind the spine. I'm on tented fingers. My fingers are up on my towel, but your fingertips may be on your mat instead. See what works for your body. Look over the back shoulder. So the arm behind you is going to be wherever it's most useful to keep that spine long. Then we check in. How's the breath? What's working that doesn't have to? What's working that needs my breath? What are the nature of my thoughts? Right, these are our basics. If my mind is elsewhere, I'm just going to catch it. Hey, brain, come on back. I'm not adding additional thoughts. I'm not judging myself for that. I'm simply noticing and then using my basics to bring myself back to my mat tonight. Inhale, reach the arms overhead, palms touch, lift the gaze, and we'll bring hands to heart center. Let's bring the arms out front, tuck the thumbs in, wrap the fingers around. We're going to start to roll the wrists. So getting our wrists nice and warm, clicking and popping is fine. We're still keeping the low belly in and up to help brace the low back. Pause, reverse the circle. And we're going to shake it up. Shake it, shake it, shake it. We'll uncross the legs. Let's bring the feet to the earth, give them a little sway. And then we're going to swing the legs around and come into our tabletop to find shape 5 and 6, right? Our back bend with a heart open, and then our rounding of the spine with the back of the heart open toward the sky. So if knees are grumpy, we might bring the blanket under the knees. Okay. And I also want to mention, because we do have a shoulder injury, right? If knees are grumpy, or if we have grumpy shoulders and it's difficult to be in table, we can take our cat-cow against the wall. So shoulders over wrists, whether we're in our tabletop or against the wall. And then we take a step back from the wall if we're doing this standing. So coming back to our tabletop here, shoulders over wrists, hip points over knees, crown of the head reaches forward, tailbone reaches back, fingers are spread really wide. And we'll find our cat-cow. So here we go as we roll the shoulders back, press the heart forward, tail lifts, gaze lifts. Same thing if we're against the wall. Exhale, press the earth away, tug the tail, look back at the knees, a little tuck of the chin. And then we'll start flowing through our cat-cow here. Inhale, front of the heart space opens, the shoulder blades reach for each other on the back. Exhale, press the earth away. Tuck the tail under, tuck the chin, shoulder blades go away from each other. A few more rounds here. So cat-cow becomes a very familiar movement in our practice. We can call it one of our basics, right? Coming into shape 5 and 6. And sometimes when we do something that we've done a million times before, we kind of just go through the motions, right? But what if tonight we stayed on our mat, we stayed with our practice, and we were really curious about how cat-cow felt in our bodies, in the body, in your body. Where's the sensation? Are my eyes opened or closed? Why might I always close my eyes here? Why might I always leave them open? Is my brain present, or does my brain tend to drift away when I'm finding a basic shape here? How might you, with compassion, bring your brain back to your practice? Let's meet back in our tabletop, and we're going to take our hip circles. Again, if shoulders are grumpy or if knees are grumpy, instead of being in our tabletop, we're going to come onto the back, hold the knees, and rotate the knees in the hip sockets. Otherwise, if we're in our tabletop, hands a half a handprint forward to the shoulders. Let's inhale to come forward and exhale to press back. So you're making these circles as big or as small as feels right in the body. Ooh, there goes my hip clicking. Clicking and popping is normal. Just no pain, please. If we're in pain, then I suggest coming onto the back and rotating the hips and the knees and doing so slowly and gently. Next time shoulders are over wrists or knees are pressed away, pause. And then on an exhale, we'll reverse the circle. All right, let's bring shoulders over wrists. We'll pause. And then we bring the hands back under the shoulders. So we're back in our tabletop. We're going to thread the needle, which we'll do from tabletop, but if we're having shoulder issues, we're going to, just like we did with our cat-cow, come against the wall, shoulders over, wrists against the wall, but take a step back. So let's bring the left hand under the nose. And on an inhale, we're going to reach the right arm overhead. And if we're against the wall, we're reaching it out to the side, gaze follows. And then exhale, we're bending into left elbow, and we're going to reach the right arm under the left elbow. We're going to look over that shoulder. So now we're coming back into our twist. Inhale, open twist. Exhale, close twist and hover. And then inhale, open twist. And exhale, close twist. And then we're going to reach the right arm onto the earth. We might bring that arm onto the wall. We're going to bring the back of the hand onto the earth, and then the forehead, the side of the right head, the right temple, the right side of the head comes to the earth. Left hand is under left shoulder. All right, checking and make sure there's no pain or pressure in the head or neck or eyes. If we're feeling that, then we're going to start to press into that left hand to lift the head off of the earth. If there's space between the right shoulder and the earth, then we can take a folded towel, blanket, or pillow in that space. Right, and if we are against the wall, right, we're just bringing that arm against the wall. Very, very minor sensation, right, if we're dealing with shoulder injury here. All right, full breath in. On the exhale, we're going to press into the left hand, come back into our tabletop, check in, shoulders over wrists, hip points over knees, crown of the head reaches forward, tailbone reaches back, fingers spread wide. Then we're going to bring the right hand under the nose, and we'll take this to the other side. Inhale, left arm reaches overhead or sweeps out to the side, gaze follows. Exhale, bend into the right arm, left arm reaches underneath. Gaze over the back shoulder, finding that inward twist. Twist from low rib. Inhale, full breath in, open twist. Exhale, bending the elbow, close twist. Gaze can come over the right shoulder. If neck says that's okay. Otherwise, we find a more comfortable place for the neck. Inhale, open twist. Exhale, close twist. Then we bring right shoulder to the earth, back of the right hand to the earth. I'm sorry, I'm getting my lefts and rights confused. This is the right arm, left arm. Left temple comes to the earth, right hand under right shoulder. Again, if we feel any pressure building in the head or neck, right, any discomfort or pain, certainly no pain, we're going to press into that right hand to help lift the head, alleviate the pressure. And if there's space between left shoulder and the earth. And we can bring our blanket in there, or folded towel, blanket, little pillow. Right. And if we're dealing with shoulder injury, we're against the wall, right? We're just applying the most gentle, I won't even call it pressure, to that left shoulder. Send breath where you need it. What can soften? Right? When we are still in a pose, when we rest in a pose, can our mind still be present with us on the mat? Full breath in. Exhale, press into the right hand. We're going to come into our tabletop, and then we're going to find our child's pose. So a couple choices: knees together, big toes touch, or knees mat distance apart, big toes touch. Then sit bones reach for the heels, forehead comes to the mat, arms are outstretched. And if forehead doesn't reach the mat, then we might bring the hands underneath, stacked fists, a block, whatever you have handy, a friendly pet. Right, child's pose is often really called a basic pose, but it's not natural or basic for many bodies, right? So there's a lot of modifications. So like I said, right, not everyone's head is going to reach the earth. So we bring props under the head. Not everyone's sit bones are going to be able to reach the heels, okay? So if that's the case, we might bring a pillow or bolster between the hips and the heels. Arms might feel uncomfortable outstretched. So maybe we kind of lax the arms down, or we take the hands and we act as if we're reaching back for the heels and bring the backs of the hands to the earth. You're letting the shoulders round forward. You may need to play with the placement of the forehead so the nose doesn't get squished. Right, this is your practice. Check in on yourself and find the version of child's pose that's working in your body tonight. Right? Then we come back to our breath. We come back to intention. We know we can come here at any point in our practice when we need some time for self. Full breath in. And then exhale, we're going to press up into our tabletop. Let's bring hands a half a handprint forward of the shoulders, tuck the toes, full breath in. Exhale, we're going to press up into our tabletop. Heels roll toward the earth, but don't have to touch. And then we'll sway the hips. So if we're dealing with a shoulder injury, we might place a little more weight into the shoulder that is uninjured, right? But if this is a chronic shoulder situation, we would just come to the front of the mat in Tadasana and skip placing a lot of weight into the shoulders here if it's not tolerable, right? No pain, please. We're going to pause the swaying, equal weight hands and feet. Fingers spread nice and wide. Sit bones reach for the heels. Chest presses for the thighs. No effort from the neck. Inhale, soften the knees, turn the gaze forward. Then we'll exhale, walk the feet forward to the front of the mat. We'll find our forward fold. Head hangs heavy, crown of the head points to the earth. Arms hang heavy. Little softness in the knees. If the hands can't find the earth, then we bring the earth up to us. We'll place the hands on the block. Inhale, half lift, shoulders roll back, heart presses forward, gaze lifts. Exhale, fold, soft knees. Inhale, press off the earth. We're going to rise all the way up, palms touch, lift the gaze. We're going to interlace all of our fingers except for pointer and thumb. And then we're going to wrap the left thumb around the right. So let's find Tadasana, except for the arms, right? Feet are our root. Gently tuck the tail, low belly in and up. Plug the shoulders in, head hovers over heart space. Full breath in, get any amount taller, but keep the shoulders plugged in. And then exhale, we're going to take a tilt over to the right. So finding that first shape again, that C. Few breaths here. Can you keep both feet equally weighted into the earth here? Right, it might feel like that left foot is getting light. Root that guy down. Inhale back to neutral. And then exhale, opposite side. So tilting over to the left. Opening the right side body. Our right foot might start to float up. Allow him to feel just as solid as the other foot. And then inhale back to neutral. And then moving with your breath. Exhale to tip. Inhale to get tall. Exhale to tip. Inhale to get tall. And you might want to keep the arms lifted overhead, or you might want to bring the hands to the hips. You might want to make it really flowy, or you might want to pause briefly, as if each pause was a station. And we'll make this the last round. So tipping to the right and neutral, tipping to the left and then neutral. So finding shapes 1 and 2. Then we're going to come back into shape number 3 and find a twist. So we're going to, as best we can, keep the hip points facing forward. Full breath in, we get tall. Exhale, right hand is going to press forward. Left hand presses back. Look over that back shoulder. Okay, we're pressing the front and back walls away unless it's too intense on the wrist. Remember, this is gentle. If this isn't feeling like the top edge of gentle, then we're going to point the palms down. Shoulders are at rest. And we're asking again, twist to come from that low rib area. So we ask that left hip to pull back, right hip to pull forward. And if the neck is in discomfort, then we bring that gaze back to neutral. Send the breath in. Send the breath out. On an inhale, let's reach the arms overhead, coming out of our twist. Get tall. Exhale, opposite side. Reach right hand forward, left hand back. Gaze over the back shoulder. If neck says that's okay. Press front and back, walls away. Shoulders are resting. Notice if they're up by their ears. Plug them back in. Palms can face down. And then that right hip, see if it's snuck forward. Right? Sometimes we're paying such attention to where we're feeling big sensation. Oops, there, come on, hip, there we go. So right hip is drawing back, left hip is drawing forward. And I'm gonna ask again, hey spine, can we get any movement from the low rib? Maybe yes, maybe no. And then we keep ourselves present in this shape. Sensation, breath, intention. Right? Intention is a great way to remind us why we're here on the mat tonight. Why do you practice? Inhale, we'll reach the arms overhead, get tall, and then we'll flow with the breath. So exhale, finding shape number 3. Right hip pulls forward, left hip pulls back. Inhale, we get tall. Pause when the breath pauses, and then on the exhale, twisting in the opposite direction. Left hip pulls back, right hip pulls forward. As the right hand comes forward, left hand comes back. Inhale up. And then please move with your own breath. Right, if your body is moving in some variation of this twist, that's okay. This is your practice. And then we'll make this the last round. Twisting to the right. And neutral. And twisting to the left. And neutral. And then we'll bring the arms down by the sides. Let's give a little windmill. Maybe stepping out a little. Stepping the legs out a little. Then we'll come back to our Tadasana. Feet are our root, tuck the tail, belly in and up, shoulders rest. Palms forward, fingertips together, head hovers over heart space. And we'll take our standing cat-cow. So we'll inhale, shoulders roll back, open the arms, press the heart for the sky, chin tips back. Exhale, we'll start to wrap the arms around the torso, rolling the shoulder blades away from each other on the back, pulling the belly and wrapping the arms around. A little softness into the knees, or maybe even a little bounce into the knees. Maybe it feels right to even take the feet a little wider. Little tuck of the chin here. Inhale, full breath in to open the front of the heart space. Shoulders roll back, chin tips back. Exhale, rounding the spine. Shoulder blades draw away from each other, softening the knees. Switch which arm was on top. If you don't remember, that's okay. We'll get it next time. And then flowing with your breath. Inhale to open. And then exhale to round. And then last round, one more opening of the front of the heart space. One more opening of the back of the heart space. We come back to our Tadasana. We'll come into our tree pose. So you may stay on your mat. You might step off of the mat onto a different surface if you want to experiment with tree pose on a different surface. Or you might come against the wall. So we start our tree pose in our best Tadasana. With the spine long and tall. We find our drishti, our focal point, a place where we can allow the eyes to focus, right? That helps the mind to quiet, right? When the mind is quiet, body and brain can work together. We'll start to balance on the right foot first. So I'm going to pick up my right toes, roll the toes down, pinky to big toe. The arch lifts. Maybe we feel some energy come up this right leg. So I'm going to imagine this right leg now as a hollow pillar. It's really firm against the earth. And now I'm going to fill that pillar. You're filling your pillar, that leg, with something heavy, some sand, some concrete. My teacher Gina was talking about melting ganache the other day, and I thought, oh, that's what I'm going to fill my pillar with next time I'm in tree. Right? This side is feeling firm and heavy. Opposite side, left side feels really light. So we're going to float up onto the toes of the left foot, toes and ball down to the foot. And then I'm turning that left knee out at a 45-degree angle from the hip joint. So now this right knee is lifted. These right glutes, all three tush muscles are working. Option to stay here. Option to bring hands to hip, hands to heart space. Maybe grow your branches. Maybe wave your branches in the breeze. If you're feeling steady here, then option to take the left foot, put it on the right calf. Calf presses into foot, foot presses into calf. Maybe that allows the crown of the head, right, to reach any amount more through the sky, elongating both sides of the waist here. It's okay if the foot wiggles. It's okay if the ankle shakes. It's getting stronger. It's figuring it out. It's also okay if we fall out of our tree pose. Right, then we just come on out, give it a shake, and then come right back in. Grounding down, up on the toes, knee comes out. Maybe we stay here this time, maybe foot comes back up. If we are feeling steady here, option to stay here, or option to help that left foot up onto right thigh. And if we're here, thigh presses into foot, foot presses into thigh. Again, maybe we get a little more lift through the crown of the head, elongating the spine. Focusing drishti, long spine, smooth, deep, even breath, nice, easy breath. We'll start to move out of our tree, so we'll bring the hands down, maybe they come to hips, maybe they're down by the sides. The foot comes down. And then we ask the right leg what it needs from us, maybe a shake. Maybe it would like to be a little compressed or stretched, a down dog, a child's pose, a sway. Maybe a cleansing breath in the nose, out of the mouth, and then we'll switch to the other side. All right, two sides may be very different. Let's be curious, what's going to happen on this side? So we're going to root down through the left foot. I'm picking up my toes. I'm rolling the toes down from pinky to big toe. That helps lift the arch. Maybe that kind of brings some energy up this leg. We're finding our Tadasana. We're finding our drishti. Left leg is the hollow pillar. I'm filling it with something heavy. It's helping that leg feel grounded and solid. Comparatively, the opposite leg, this right leg, feels light. So I'm just going to float right up onto the toes and the ball mound. And then I'm turning that right leg out from the hip joint. I can stay here. I'm gaining strength here. Okay, I'm gaining balance here. If I'm steady here and I'd like to move on or just try something different, right? We're going to take that right foot, bring it to left calf. Calf presses into foot, foot presses into calf. That can help give us a little more lift. Making sure lift is coming right through the crown of the head, not from the shoulders. Shoulders are back and down. And then we decide where are the hands, hips, heart center, grow our branches, let them sway. And sometimes the hands naturally find a mudra, a hand seal. We don't necessarily need to know what it means in the moment. We might look it up after class, right? But sometimes the hands just find a shape. Option to stay here. Option 2, if we're feeling steady, option to bring that right foot up onto left thigh. Helping it up with the hand. And then thigh presses into foot, foot presses into thigh. Maybe we get a little taller, a little longer. Decide where the hands go. And then we come back to our basics. Where is earth? Where is sky? Find the drishti. Find the breath. All is well. As you feel even, take your time. Your body would likely tell you, right, when you feel even. Hands will come down. Maybe they come to hips, maybe down by the side. Then the foot comes down. And then we ask right leg, or rather left leg. Oh, again. We ask left leg what left leg needs. It may be the same as right. It may be something different. Go with it. Show me your best funky dance moves. All right. So then we'll come on to the back. Whenever you're ready, giving that leg what it needs. Back onto the back. We're gonna come into our bridge pose. So again, you can do this anytime you come onto your back, whether you're on the mat or not. Bending into the knees, find the feet, gently press the feet into the earth. Lifting the tailbone and the low spine just a bit, maybe an inch off the earth. We're gonna scoop the tailbone as if it's reaching for the backs of the knees and then bring the back down onto the earth in a more neutral shape. Arms are down by the sides. Unless we're healing something in neck and shoulders, you might try bringing the arms out into a T instead. Hip points are in line with knees. We keep looking at the sky. Nobody looks from side to side when we're in bridge. Full breath in. On an exhale, press the feet firmly into the earth. Press the hip points for the sky. Knees energetically draw together. Energizing the thighs, all 6 glutes, pelvic floor, the muscles that stop urine and gas draw in and up. Belly zips up from pubic bone to belly button. Super energized from belly button to the feet. Belly button up. What can be soft? Ooh. Let the throat feel soft and open. Let the shoulders rest. The back of the head as it rests. Space between the eyebrows releases. The tongue and jaw are soft. And taking this inversion allows the heart rate and blood pressure to slow. Full breath in, and then on your exhale, taking your time to lower down. You might imagine each backbone coming to touch the earth one at a time. Once tailbone reaches the earth, we take a full breath cycle here. Inhale, exhale, and then we'll start to sway the knees. And we'll bring the arms into a T with palms down. And we're going to find another twist here, our reclined or supine twist. So some options. Next time the legs are toward the left, we can just allow them to fall in that direction. Or we might pause and cross right thigh over left thigh and then bring the knees down toward the earth. Finding that twist again from the low rib area. We might look up at the sky, or we might increase that twist just a bit by looking over that right shoulder. But our neck health is much more important. So if we're finding pain when we turn the head, we're going to keep looking up. Returning to our basics. How's the breath? How's the body? Where do I feel sensation? What's working that doesn't have to? How's the brain? Where does my brain go when it tries to escape from my practice? Does it worry about something that's happening in the future? Is it fretting about the past? Right? Does it show up in negative self-talk? Can your brain just be present, right? And how might you help your brain do that? You might check in on your breath. You might check in on your sensation. You might repeat intention. All right, inhale. We'll bring a little firmness into the belly as we roll back onto the back. Okay, we'll lift the knees. Feet will find the earth. If the legs are crossed, we'll uncross the legs. Give them a little sway. And then again, your choice. Next time knees are moving toward the right, we might just move the knees all the way down, just seeing where they'll go, or we might pause, cross left thigh over right, and bring knees over toward the right. Gaze might come over off left shoulder, or we might keep looking at the sky. What can soften? What needs breath? Where is earth? Where am I held by earth? Where is sky? Can I be present on my mat? Inhale, find your firmness into the belly to help lift the knees. Knees come up, feet come to the earth, legs across. Go ahead and uncross them. Give the legs a little sway. Pause the swaying, and as we find an exhale, we'll bring the knees in toward the chest, wrap the arms around the shins, flex the feet, big hug. Notice if the shoulders have crept up, ask them to roll back and down. Option to sway here, option to find stillness. And then we're going to come into our happy baby. Not everyone and not everyone's nervous system tolerates happy baby. So if that's not the shape for you, you might stay in this shape and sway side to side. Maybe you enjoy a little front to back rolling tonight, which could be just fun. If we're finding our happy baby, hands will find the knees. We draw the knees toward the underarms. Inhale, feet will, or rather hands come between the feet. Hand press into feet, feet press into hands. Okay, but if we can't reach the feet, that's cool. We've got shins. Hands press into shins, shins press into hands. And that just, either one helps bring the knees toward the underarms here. Then we have the option here to sway, or again, to find stillness. And you might check in, right? Are you someone who, when he has the option to sway, always sways? Are you someone who always finds stillness? And how is that serving your practice? Swaying can be really nice to our nervous system. Stillness can be very peaceful. And for some people, stillness is really difficult. All right, if we're swaying in our happy baby, we're going to pause that swaying. Then we're going to release the hands. Elbows will help knees together. Let's wrap the arms around the shins once again. Big hug. Full breath in. Exhale, we're going to press the feet up toward the sky, finding our legs up the wall. Option to point and flex the feet, roll the ankles. Option to bring hands behind the thighs. Maybe arms would like to reach overhead. Hold opposite elbows. Maybe arms in a T. Maybe your body's asking for something a little different that I haven't mentioned. Go for it. Mind at the wall is another pose, right, that allows the body to slow down. The heart rate, the blood pressure, the breath follows. And often right? When all of that is slow and at ease, the brain follows as well. Thoughts quiet. And if you're holding opposite elbows, please switch. Let the other arm be on top for a little bit. Give them a chance to be in charge. Another one of our basic shapes that we find again and again in our practice. Another shape where we find stillness. Where does the mind go? Can it be present? Full breath in. Exhale, knees into chest. We'll wrap the arms around the shins again. Big hug, maybe a big thank you to your body, your breath, your brain, all working together tonight on your mat. We'll bring the feet to the earth. Then we're going to stretch the legs out. Again, if you're experiencing a really deep curve, you might again want to bend into the knees, tuck the tail, bring the low back down, and then bring the legs out straight again. We're going to reach the arms overhead. Fingertips are reaching behind you. Heels are pressing forward. Right? Imagining you are just a long, stretchy line. Full breath in, stretch. Exhale, soften down. All right, inhale, we're going to stretch again. And then once more, we're going to take the spine into a C curve. So on the exhale, feet and hands will march over to the left, finding that crescent shape. Stretch the right side body, a little compression on the opposite side, but needs breath. Inhale back to neutral, find that big stretch. And then exhale, hands and feet walk over to the right, stretching the left side body, compressing the right. Few breaths here. And then on an inhale, let's walk the hands back to neutral, feet to neutral. And then we'll just sponge down here for a moment. Maybe a cleansing breath in the nose, out of the mouth. Good job tonight, guys. Option to take any other stretch or shape you might like or your body may be asking for before we come into our guided meditation. Recommending lying on the back in meditation tonight, but if that's not working for your body, you might lie on your side with a pillow or a blanket between the knees, or you might find a seat. You can sit in a chair, you can sit on your couch. You don't need to see me, you just need to be able to hear me. So finding a place where your spine can feel long and tall, where your body isn't trying to get your attention, right? So if we know the low back is going to be grumpy, we bend the knees, right? Or we find a seat or we lie on the side. Right? If we know the neck is going to be grumpy, maybe we place a pillow under the head. And so take a few moments here to be really fussy. Just a reminder, right, that in meditation, it's okay to move. If we're feeling that discomfort, if a part of our body is calling to us and we need to move, right, we absolutely move. But we do so with great care, gently, slowly. We seek to keep the eyes closed if we can. Another reminder that in meditation, the mind wanders. And when it does, we do our best to meet that with compassion. That means resisting negative self-talk, resisting frustration, right? Because we know that just adds to the thoughts, and that's kind of counterproductive. Just like when our mind wanders in our asana practice, our physical practice, we bring it back with attention. Attention to breath, attention to the words that are guiding you through the meditation, attention to your body on your mat in your space. So if the eyes haven't closed already, please close the eyes again. If they don't want to close, that's okay. We're not going to force them. We'll just remind them to feel soft and heavy, and they'll close in their own time. Begin to notice your breath. The inhale and its pause, the exhale and its pause. The coolness of the inhale, the warmth of the exhale. Where in your physical body do you feel those temperature changes? Noticing the rise and fall of the physical body with the breath. What parts move with the breath? What parts receive breath? Starting with the top of your head, relax your head and face. Relax your neck and shoulders. Relax the upper arms, lower arms, wrists, palms, and fingers. Relax the finger joints, the elbows, the shoulder joints, and neck. Relax your chest, navel, lower abdomen, and hips. Relax your thighs and calves, feet and toes. Relax your toe joints, ankles, knees, and hip joints. Relax the whole pelvis. Relax your chest, shoulders, and neck. Relax the face and head. In this exercise, you will pay attention to 31 special points of the upper body. At each point, pause and breathe deeply. Picture that part of your body in your mind's eye and imagine breathing through this point. I will pause so you will be able to take a couple of full breaths into each point. Now bring your attention to the space between the eyebrows, the eyebrow center. Keep your attention at this point and think of the number 1. Imagining breathing through the eyebrow center. We will now proceed through the remaining 30 points. Bring awareness to the center of your throat. 2. Right shoulder joint. 3. Right elbow joint. 4. Right wrist joint. 5. Tip of the right thumb, 6. Tip of the right index finger, 7. Tip of the right middle finger, 8. Tip of the right ring finger, 9. Tip of the right little finger, 10. Now back up to the right wrist joint, 11. Right elbow joint, 12. Right shoulder joint, 13. Bring awareness to the center of your throat, 14. Now go across to the left shoulder joint, 15. Left elbow joint, 16. Left wrist joint, 17. Tip of the left thumb, 18. Tip of the left index finger, 19. Tip of the left middle finger, 20. Tip of the left ring finger, 21. Tip of the little finger of the left hand, 22. Back up to the left wrist joint, 23. Left elbow joint, 24. Left shoulder joint, 25. Bring awareness to the center of the throat, 26. Now bring your awareness down to the center of the chest, 27. Now bring that awareness right halfway between the center of the chest and the shoulder joint, 28. back to the center of the chest, 29. Now bring that awareness left, halfway between the center of the chest and the shoulder joint, 30. And finally, back to the center of the chest, 31. This concludes our 31-point guided meditation exercise. We will now move into our Savasana. You may take a few moments here to readjust the position of your body, make any stretches or wiggles your body might be asking for, maybe clearing the throat. And then settling back into stillness. We bring the physical body into stillness so that our yoga can incorporate into all of our bodies, our mental body, emotional, our energetic body, our physical form. And while that's going on, we proceed with the practice of stilling the mind. We know the mind will bring us thoughts. And again, we bring our thoughts back to the task without having judgment or negativity, as best we can. Remembering our tools, you might count the breath. You might inhale, repeat intention, exhale, repeat intention. Or you might simply practice noticing a thought when it arrives, and then disattaching from that thought. You are welcome to stay in your Savasana for as long as you like, but I will call you back in just a couple of minutes. begin to come back to the breath. Allowing the breath to breathe you. Allowing the breath to bring you more and more back into your physical body, on your mat and in your space. Feeling the coolness and the warmth of the breath. The bodies rise and fall with the breath. As you come back into your physical body, ask your body how it would like to move here. How would it like to come out of Savasana? Maybe you'd like a stretch or a sway, wiggling fingers and toes. Maybe your body's asking for something else here. Taking your time here, moving as the body is asking. Begin to increase these movements, coming more and more back from our final resting pose. As you feel ready, we bend into the knees. And with great care, we turn onto the right side. We'll use that right arm as a pillow. I invite you to take a few moments here at the end of your practice to be with your breath, be with your intention. As you feel ready, full breath in, straightens the top leg. Exhale, pressing up into any comfortable seat. I'll seek to keep the eyes closed. It's okay if they flutter open. Hands might be brought to heart center or rest in the lap. Thank you for coming to practice with me tonight. Thank you for trusting me with your practice. And thank you truly for your patience. Namaste. Mm-hmm.